Today we're diving into the world of forgotten video games, titles that might not have made the impact of a Halo or Call of Duty, but still offered something unique in their time. From quirky family fun to experimental concepts, there are hidden gems waiting to be remembered, so let's get started. Earth Defense Force 2017 is a fast-paced third-person shooter developed by Sandlot and brought to Western audiences by D3 Publisher. Released for the Xbox 360 in 2006, this game is a follow-up to Global Defense Force and part of a long-running EDF series known for its chaotic battles and sci-fi dystopian vibe. The game is set in the near-future year 2017, where Earth faces a large-scale invasion by an extraterrestrial force known as the Ravagers. Players step into the boots of a soldier from Storm 1, an elite unit of the Earth Defense Force. The mission: take down endless waves of massive insects, robotic walkers, and other extraterrestrial threats across sprawling, destructible environments. EDF 2017 is all about mayhem and an apocalyptic society, like you're in a terrible lucid dream. Across 53 missions, players blast through huge hordes of enemies with a choice of over 150 different weapons, ranging from rocket launchers and sniper rifles to absurdly powerful energy weapons. Vehicles like tanks and helicopters add variety to the combat. They also offered split-screen co-op mode. One of the game's standout features was the fully destructible environments. Buildings would crumble under rocket fire with no consequence. Enemies explode in swarms. EDF 2017 leans into its cringy sci-fi narrative with particularly awful voice acting. It never takes itself too seriously. It's the kind of game that knows it's over the top and has fun with it. The difficulty settings encourage replayability, but the Inferno difficulty was ridiculously hard and almost impossible to beat for most players, as once all your crew die, it's hard to move or escape the swarm. While it didn't receive critical acclaim, many reviewers enjoyed this Xbox game as a 360 classic and a staple in many people's childhoods. In the vast library of Xbox games, few titles are as chaotic, creative, and ultimately forgotten as Facebreaker. Released by EA in 2008, this offbeat boxing game combined outrageous violence with a cartoonish style and humor. Facebreaker's most memorable features was its broken face cutscenes, brutal damage that would occur in slow motion after a knockout, giving the game its name. After each fight, the loser would have a voice line of defeat, and their head was the prize for winning that would be hung as an ornament like a taxidermized deer. The bizarre nature of this game extended to its character roster filled with cartoonish stereotypes, like Voodoo and Romeo, but each one was more caricatured than the last. My favorite character was Kiriko. The over-the-top auditions before fights gave each fighter a chance to show off their personality or parody, making the game feel like a bizarre talent show of pugilists.
Big Russian guy. Sure, and to play Big Russian guy.
There was also a wide selection of boxing rings, like a zoo and a literal mental asylum, which shows just how bizarre this game is, and also alternate outfits you unlock with each stage you beat. Facebreaker also stood out for its early use of face scanning and customization, allowing players to import their own faces into the game. Pre-made characters even included celebrities like Kim Kardashian. This tech was ahead of its time, adding a personal and often hilariously grotesque touch to the chaos. If you had any ops in real life, you could create their face and beat them up. It was wild. However, once players stepped into the ring, the experience was somewhat shallow. Outside of the Brawl for All mode, there was little else to do, making the game feel lacking on content despite its flair. The biggest issue being that the highest difficulty settings were made almost impossible to beat, which felt like overcompensation for the lack of content. The developers knew we'd be sitting there trying to beat it for hours, if not weeks, as the AI characters spammed button-mashing abilities where you could never land a punch. Adding to the game's surreal charm were background oddities like crabs with boxing gloves and an overly exposed ring girl who danced between rounds, reminding players that this wasn't a traditional fighting game, it was a fever dream with gloves on. Despite its unique style, Facebreaker flopped commercially, selling a measly 52,000 copies on the Xbox 360 and PS3 combined. Yet under its flawed surface lies a classic that deserves a second look. Facebreaker never found its audience, but for those who played it, the game offered a loony, unforgettable ride. It might not have been a critical or commercial success, but it carved out a small, bruised corner in gaming history. A forgotten classic for those that love their games loud, weird, and a little broken.
Wicked! I can't feel my face.
Shrek the Third is an action-adventure video game released in May 2007, published by Activision. Based on the 2007 DreamWorks animation film, the game was made available on multiple platforms, including Microsoft Windows, Wii, Xbox 360, PlayStation 2, PlayStation Portable, Game Boy Advance, and Nintendo DS. The game follows the storyline of the film, where Shrek embarks on a quest to find Arthur, the rightful heir to the throne of Far, Far Away. Meanwhile, Prince Charming assembles a group of fairy tale villains to seize the throne. Players can be many different characters from the movie, including Shrek, Donkey, Puss in Boots, Princess Fiona, and Sleeping Beauty. Each character possesses unique abilities that aid in combat and puzzle solving throughout the game. My personal favorite was Puss in Boots. Shrek the Third features 20 levels, most of which are directly based on the film's events, but others introduce new scenarios or missions. The gameplay combines platforming elements with combat, allowing players to engage in battles using fists and swords against various enemies such as pirates, guards, and witches. Defeating enemies fills a special attack meter, enabling characters to perform finishing moves. Included in the game are numerous Easter eggs like the penguins from Madagascar. The game also includes 6 minigames that, while not affecting the main storyline, offer additional challenges and rewards. These minigames are accessible after completing certain levels and provide opportunities to earn medals based on performance. My favorite one being Shrekleboard, which I spent hours trying to win as a kid. Shrek the Third offers an engaging experience for fans of the franchise, combining elements of the film with interactive gameplay. While it may not have received universal acclaim, it provides entertainment through its diverse characters, levels, and minigames. It's a worthwhile addition to the Shrek universe. The game shipped 2 million copies, indicating a moderate commercial success. Released alongside the movie, Shrek the Third had everything that a fan of the franchise could want. Over-the-top humor, familiar characters, and a solid selection of minigames. It didn't set the world on fire, but it offered a decent experience for those looking to hang out with Shrek and the gang on the console. Kameo Elements of Power is an action-adventure video game developed by Rare, the same company that made Banjo-Kazooie, and published by Microsoft Game Studios. Released in 2005 for the Xbox 360, it was one of the console's launch titles. The game follows Kameo, an adopted elf whose family was kidnapped and tortured by her sister Callus, whose birthright it was to inherit the elemental powers, but it was passed on to Kameo instead by the queen, Thena. Kameo must rescue her family and defeat the evil troll king Thorn by harnessing the powers of 10 elemental warriors who were scattered across the realm. In Kameo, players control the character as she transforms into various elemental creatures, each with unique abilities, like Pummelweed, who is a plant boxer, and Thermite, who can explode lava and can travel faster than a horse with his shield ability. The gameplay combines exploration, combat, and puzzle solving, with players switching between different elemental forms to overcome obstacles and defeat enemies. The game features a third-person perspective and offers a mix of linear levels and open-world exploration. The game showcases Rare's signature art style with vibrant and detailed environments that bring the fantasy world to life. The character designs are imaginative and the animations are fluid and ethereal. The soundtrack, composed by Steve Burke, complements the visuals with orchestra that enhance the epic feel of the adventure. It also included Easter eggs like music from Banjo-Kazooie on a jukebox if you beat a quest. Kameo Elements of Power received mainly positive reviews from critics. The game was praised for its innovative gameplay mechanics, particularly the transformation system and its engaging combat sequences. However, a lot of people felt that this game was too short and straightforward. Despite this, the game was considered a strong launch title for the Xbox 360 and showcased Rare's ability to create immersive and entertaining experiences. Kameo was meant to have a sequel, and there are still numerous videos of the concept art for Kameo 2, but it was cancelled due to Rare being tasked to create games for the Kinect, and therefore the game hasn't been heard of since, despite its large potential. Fusion Frenzy 2 is a party video game developed by Hudson Soft and published by Microsoft Game Studios for the Xbox 360. Released on January 30th, 2007, it's the sequel to the original Fusion Frenzy, a collection of minigames set across various futuristic environments, narrated by a game show host, which a lot of people noted they found annoying. In Fusion Frenzy 2, players engage in a series of minigames set on 7 different planets, each minigame adapting to the climate of the planet. The game features over 40 minigames, each with unique objectives and challenges, some personal favorites being Turbine Jumper and Ice Sculpture. Players can compete in these minigames in various modes, including single-player, multiplayer, and cooperative play, and offers you a choice of 6 characters: Dub, Gina, Jet, Naomi, Samson, and Zack. The game supports up to 4 players locally and features online multiplayer capabilities, allowing players to compete against others over Xbox Live. One of the notable features of Fusion Frenzy 2 is the inclusion of tournament cards. Players can collect and use these cards to influence the outcome of minigames, adding an element of strategy to the gameplay. The game also offers customizable tournaments, allowing players to tailor their gaming experience to their preferences. Upon release, Fusion Frenzy 2 received mixed reviews from critics. Unfortunately, this game was not rated well, and a lot of people felt as though this game was awful, and that the graphics were not as polished as expected for an Xbox 360 title. While it may not have received the same level of acclaim as other party games, it provides a fun and engaging option for players seeking competitive minigame challenges. Its emphasis on multiplayer play and strategic elements through tournament cards make it a noteworthy and nostalgic entry in the party game genre, and something you can happily enjoy with friends. My Sims Sky Heroes is an action-adventure video game published by Electronic Arts. Released in 2010, it marks the 6th and final installment in the My Sims series. In My Sims Sky Heroes, players assume the role of a skilled pilot who battles against the villainous Morcubus and his drone army. The protagonist joins a group of pilots to destroy Morcubus's plans to dominate the skies. Throughout the game, players encounter new characters such as Rose, Dragomir, and Svetlana, who serve as tough enemies in aerial combat. The gameplay revolves around flying combat and racing. Players can engage in a solo campaign featuring 42 missions across 12 diverse environments. The game introduces a plane editor that allows for extensive customization of aircraft, including upgrades to wings, engines, and body parts, each affecting the plane's performance. Additionally, players can personalize their characters as well to fit their aesthetic. Multiplayer modes include racing and dogfighting, and split screen for offline mode. It supports up to 10 players online on the Xbox 360. My Sims Sky Heroes received mixed reviews from critics. While the game was praised for its engaging multiplayer modes and extensive customization options, some reviewers noted that the story mode lacked the depth of previous My Sims titles and found the game to not have anything special about it. I have to agree slightly. As much as I enjoyed this game, it was something I only played to pass the time whilst I was getting my hair braided as a kid. Although it may not have achieved the same level of acclaim as other entries in the series, it remains an enjoyable game for fans seeking a sky adventure. I just wanted to briefly mention Ratatouille. I owned this game when I was very young, and I think that we had to send it back because of how terrified I was. Like, I had an irrational fear of this game. Like, it just scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid. And I remember it really vividly as well. I think we rented it out on like CEX or something, and I think it had to get sent back because I literally couldn't function if someone was playing this game in my house. I never watched the movie, so it just scared me to see rats running around the screen, and I would scream and cry every time that Ratatouille would come on the screen, and I would literally just run to my bedroom. It was really distressing for me when I was a kid for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that briefly. But yeah, there you have it. That's I think 7 or 8 forgotten video games that I felt needed to be revived and talked about. Let me know of some of your favorites, or if any of the ones mentioned in this video were your favorites, and if there's any that I haven't heard of that are forgotten, or games that I missed that you wanted to hear me speak about, and let me know your opinions on these games of what your favorite one was. My personal favorite out of this list is Kameo, because it's something that I think is one of the first video games I ever got, so for that reason I'd say that Kameo is my number one. But yeah, let me know your favorites, and That's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going now. Bye.